General Sean Anthony Cooley here with us, Holocaust survivor,
Yes, sir.
anti-terrorism expert, and military parole apprehension specialist, correct?
If there's someone that needs to be apprehended, I can get them.
So you're not a bondsman.
No, sir.
You work for the military.
I'm employed by the U.S. government for life.
Okay.
They sent me to school. It's because of them that, I have my freedoms. So I don't mind extending favors. I'm in what's called the active retirees. I might get a text or a phone call telling me I have to be at a certain place, and I never know pretty much everything that's going on. But when I'm called upon, I come through for my country and your country as well.
When did you most recently do an apprehension of a military
We do
parolee?
more than just apprehensions. It's times where I just have to do riot control. I was just in Baltimore, about a month ago. They had some issues breaking out because of that bridge that fell, which could have been an act of terrorism as well. They could have purposely taken out that bridge. But anyway, when people get unruly, they call in the government. They called us in 2004. We've been assisting since then.
Okay. So I understand you're a Holocaust survivor as well.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that. That's very interesting.
Oh, that was scary. During the Holocaust years, women were free. They didn't have a problem with the women, but they wanted to get rid of all of the men of my heritage. And they'd show up in villages and just rummage the village and kill them.
Are you Jewish?
I am.
Okay. So are you in the minority? I mean, I don't see a lot
Yeah,
of...
I'm a part of the minority. I'm mixed.
Okay, so...
With the sun's help, I turn really dark brown, and people, they don't know I'm mixed, or they assume I'm just black, or I stay out of the sun for a while and I turn really light. He's a white boy. It's really tough to be mixed. But I got some experience. 48 years of being mixed.
Did you live in Germany during the Holocaust years?
Well, I'm from the UK. I can't tell you exactly where I lived because I was a baby. There's a military installation in Germany. I lived there as well, but I don't know where my life originated at. I'll never know. And no kid does, except for what their parents tell them. And well,
What'd your parents tell you about
I'm
that?
just Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me. We're just Puerto Rican. So we're Puerto Rican.
So there's some Puerto Rican there.
I'm really
There's
mixed.
some Jewish there. What else?
My dad is an Islamic Puerto Rican.
An Islamic Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Arab Puerto Rican.
Arab Puerto Rican,
He's
okay.
Arab and Puerto Rican.
So I think something very interesting we've touched on is your job helping with the military with apprehensions of parolees.
Not only parolees, sometimes it's terrorists. Whatever. If I get a text and a picture, I'm going to get the guy, point blank.
Where did you get the last guy from?
The last actual action I had was a couple of nights ago over in Tampa. The parole department had cornered some parolees they'd been trying to catch up to for quite some time, and they didn't have the manpower to go in there alone. So I assisted, me and my unit, several of us.
Do you have a badge? Do you carry a badge?
No, sir, I'm not a cop.
You just have a military ID?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, where did you get your training to do apprehensions of?
I'm a Marine and I'm an Army man. Combat is brutal. And the Marines and Army, they teach you some serious things.
Growing up, you lived with your biological parents, is that correct?
For some time, but they're in the military, so I had foster parents as well. And when you're in the military, early out, or depending upon what the military says, you can't carry dependents. So I pretty much always had a foster mom.
Okay, so when your biological parents could not carry dependent children, you went to foster parents, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Was that an off and on again thing, or was that a
I've got a
against-
ton of foster parents. I've lived in a lot of different regions, but because my parents are in the military, they go to work on the base. I stay home with my foster mom or dad and go to school, and that's my foster mom and dad,
And you see your parents again at night, or you stay?
It depends on if they're deployed, lots of variables. I'm in the same situation. I don't have physical custody of my children. Well, I do now, but my early years in the military, I didn't. They had to live with foster parents.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do.
How many?
rather not discuss my mom and dad's business, if you can understand. As survivors, certain things aren't really a good idea to talk about.
Can you talk about maybe one particular sibling, a favorite sibling, or one that you're in touch with the most?
I have twin brothers. We are quadruplets. I stay in touch with those guys more than anything.
So there's 4 of you.
Yeah.
So 3, is it all males?
Yeah.
So four male quadruplets. When's the last time you spoke to one of those?
Today.
Okay. Where do they all live? Same place, or they live different places?
We're military. We go where they request us to go or send us.
If you could send your quadruplet brothers a message today, what would you say to them in case they, just by some strange chance, see this video on YouTube?
What I like to say to my people: freedom, baby, freedom, freedom from oppression. Shit.
If you needed help, like let's say you needed help with a hotel room for a night, would they help you?
Of course they would. I believe, I know they would.
How many kids you have?
I have 6 children, but I don't really like to discuss that kind of stuff.
Okay, I won't ask you about it. If you could send them a message, what would you say to your kids?
La familia totales, baby. Totales, unire totales. They know what it means.
You sound like pretty good Spanish.
Sí, yo hablo mucho español. Total.
How many languages you speak? Just English and Spanish? You got others too?
English, French,
Swahili. French.
Je ne sais pas je ne sais pas and I don't know what you want to know. I don't know. Je ne sais pas.
In French, say, hi, my fellow Frenchmen. I'm giving an interview today to this gentleman. How's it going?
Bonjour, mis amigos, mi amiga. Bonjour, mon amis. Je suis ici. Je parle como un garçon desde informaciones para francés. Francés, número 1.
So, that's English, Spanish, and French.
It's tough, yeah.
What other languages?
Farsi, lots of. It depends on if sometimes you can't think of anything, but I speak several languages.
You use drugs?
No, sir.
Have you ever tried marijuana?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather not talk about that, or can you tell us about your drug use?
I don't have a drug use. I used to smoke marijuana, but because I like to keep my job, I smoke cannabinoid, which is marijuana without the THC. If I ever pop dirty for drugs, they could very well strip my job from me, and I don't want that. So I smoke what's legal, cannabinoid.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, sir.
How long ago was the last arrest?
Yesterday.
You got arrested yesterday? What, did the cops see your military ID and they know what you do and everything?
No, I was hanging out with some knuckleheads that I knew from before I joined the military. I walk down the street, they go the other way, and well, they thought I had something to do with someone getting jumped, which I didn't. I hadn't seen those guys in years, but you be around the wrong crowd, so, anything is possible.
Are you out on bond now, or did
No, sir. I was only charged with trespassing because I didn't have nothing to do with the fight that had taken place just before I got there.
Where did this happen? Where were you arrested?
By the VA, Bay Pines.
By Bay Pines VA?
Yeah. And I had nothing to do with the fight. I don't know what they were fighting about.
Are you allowed to go back to VA if you need their services?
Yeah, it wasn't at the VA that it happened.
Oh, it was near the VA.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the time before that you got arrested?
I don't even remember.
Have you ever been to prison?
No, sir.
No?
I've been to some to visit people, but I'm not a prisoner or a felon or nothing.
Do you have a romantic partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend?
I'm involved, but it's tough in the military because
Is it a man or a woman that you're?
It's a woman, but she's also in the military, so.
What part of the world does she live in?
That's the thing. We never know where each other's going to be anymore. She is in town. You know, I got to see her for a while, but you know, with my job and her job,
What's
we never
her first
know.
name?
Excuse me?
What's her first
I'd
name?
rather not say.
Would you want to send a message to her in case she sees
She
this?
already love ya. She already knows.
Would you say that you're sexually active?
I can be, but not very often.
Do you ever have sex when you're homeless? Have you ever had sex outside, trying to, like in some woods or anywhere, you're trying to get away with having sex outside?
No, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes. World, we're at a pivotal time. We're at a time where, as with the history, times in the past, long ago, we have factions who don't want to see no one free, you know, democracy. So if you see something you're not sure about, make the call. If you see anything that looks suspicious or strange, call someone. It's best that we're safe than sorry.
Would you say you're Democrat or Republican?
I'm bipartisan. A lot of Democratic issues I support. Lots of Republican issues I support.
Would you rather see Trump or Biden get elected in 2024?
Well, I know both of them, and they both are great men.
You know them personally?
I do.
You know Biden and Trump personally?
Yes, sir. For the sake of saying so, President Biden is great at a lot of things. President Trump is great at a lot of things. I believe the state we're in as a country right now, we need to generate more revenue, more income, and get out of our financial strains. So I'm gonna roll with the Donald Trump.
You're a Trump supporter.
I support who's best for the job every time.
Okay, folks, we're gonna end this very interesting interview, and if Mr. Cooley will do some more with us, we're gonna talk a little bit more about his political views. For anyone that may have consciously or subconsciously profiled this gentleman, you may understand that you may have profiled him incorrectly. I would have guessed that he would have not been a Trump supporter. So we're gonna come back and talk a little about that. Thanks very much.